Hi hockey team, I'm putting this video together to show you what the practice is going to look like this week, just so we can be maybe a little bit more efficient in going from practice. And that's really on me because it's hard to yell in my face mask, and then it's also hard to understand everything and when we're spread out. So just to give you kind of a rundown as to what we're going to do, this is what school looks like for me. This is like my classroom now for the time being, in one of the few spots in my house that I do my videos from, or I Zoom from. Back to what we're going to do for today. We're going to start off for tomorrow's practice, depending on when you watch this. What we're going to do first is a regular warm-up 3-on-3 with changing possession. And then we're going to break into 3 different groups this time. One of the groups is going to work on stick skills, puck handling skills. Another group is going to work on some tight skating skills. And then the last group is actually going to work on shooting, whether that's with the goalie if Abe is there, or at the net. And we're going to be aiming for the corners and aiming for open spots instead of just at the net. So the whole idea today, or for this practice, is to have tighter skill type things, so that that's one that I noticed in our scrimmage. That's something that we need to work on. After we get done with that, we'll do the New Jersey flow drill that we've done before. We have some 3-on-2 down lows to do, some breakout and break back in drills, and at the end, as always, we'll do a full ice scrimmage, and again, kind of saying who's going to be in what position, who's going to be here and there. And it might be a little bit more controlled depending, but let me show you on the board how it works. Our first drill will be the 3-on-3, and then 3 people come in. So your offense, I'll pass the puck to the white team. You'll come in and you'll try to score. 3 of these will be defense, trying to score, and then depending on the goalie. And then you, as soon as you take possession, defense takes possession of the puck, get a clean pass to your team. 3 more come out, and then you're going to flip-flop. The whites will become the defense, the darks will be the offense, and then they'll go through, and then you just change back and forth, just like we've been doing. The next one is going to be the 3 different stations, and I'm calling 3 stations tight drills. We're going to use the cones, and we're going to work on the first 2 zones. Would be this zone, and then the neutral zone. We'll be using cones. For the cones, these are all representing the cones. They'll be gonna have like 30 cones in each if we want to, and then depending on how many people we have in the class for that day, you might be able to get like 3 people per area, so 3, 3, 3. And then for this one, you're using its stick skills. And you're going to have the cones out. It doesn't matter where the cones are, but you're going to stick handle around the cones, whatever order you want. So it really doesn't matter as long as you're moving around. And if there's 3 people, you make your moves, and then you come back to the beginning, and another person's going to go. But you're controlling the puck, you're doing stick handling in between, doing different things, maybe kicking the puck, whatever you feel like comfortable doing, and then you can do it in a different order the next time, but you're going to go through it, do it as many times as you can. You can move the cones around, but again, it's not where the cones are. There's not really a place where you go. It's going to be more of the movement that you have. And again, it might be 3 people, it might be 4 or 3 sets of them in there. I'll have a bunch of cones available. So there'll be 30 cones that can be available here. In the neutral zone, it's skating with the cones. And for skating with the cones, you might just go forward, through, and again, making movements depending on what you want. Forward through the cones, and then maybe for every cone that you go to, you're coming around, and then you're skating backwards around the cones, and forward and backwards and forward and backwards, transitioning between the cones. So it's really up to you as to what you want to do as a skill, trying something, but then the trick is really to try to challenge yourself and skating, coming out of those turns fast. trying to accelerate out of the corners. The last station will be goalies shooting, and I'm going to put 2 nets down there because we don't need the net down here, and it will be, you can just, it's stationary, you get a bunch of pucks and you just take turns, and if you have a goalie in there, you have to go goalie a time, and it's best probably to goalie from one side and then the other, but you'll only have 2 or 3 people there, so it's not a big deal. It's not like you're worried about other people judging you on based on how your shot is. We're just trying to aim for the corners, and if you're the one without the goalie, you can rotate. You're taking shots, and when you're shooting, trying to put it at the corners, hitting that inside of the pipe, at the top, try and hit the bar, and then going down. Shooting in the middle at the goalie, only if you really see an opening will you take that shot, and that would be like between the legs, would be called a 5-hole shot. Then after 5 minutes or so, maybe a little longer depending on how it's going, I'll blow the whistle, and then we'll rotate, and stick skills go to neutralize, neutralize goes to shooting, and shooting goes over to stick skills. The next part, we're moving to longer ice things. We're doing tight, now we're going to move to longer. And one of those longer ones is the New Jersey Flow. Now we're going to change, this is the side with the benches on it, and this will be a coach. Now how it works is, it's just going to be the opposite spot. So just flip-flop. So the pass goes to this defenseman. This forward starts to take off as soon as that pass is caught. This defenseman skates up, makes a pass to the forward. Now that forward skates down the ice pretty fast, and once it gets about just past the blue line, makes a good hard pass to this defenseman. Now in the meantime, the defenseman up here who had passed the puck, the one who passed the puck, heads up to about center ice. That's going to be the defenseman that goes against these 2 people. So the defenseman, this defenseman gets the puck. He or she is not going anywhere. All they're making is a pass. This player does a low curve, so a low swing. This forward, as soon as this pass was made and caught, maybe a little bit before that, does a swing across. This defenseman looks for whoever's going to be open, and this pass could be to this forward, or it could be across to this person, depending. And now it becomes a 2-on-1, these defensemen. So you'll come up, and whether you crisscross or make your play, you'll come up, maybe make some passes there. Be careful of your passes. Don't let the defensemen get in the way of it, making themselves large by spreading out with their stick, and that person's skating backwards. So then it becomes 2-on-1. And then you go in and try to score. Now when you do score, really important thing is, or when you're trying to score, once you get down, you might take your shot. So if I'm skating down, I take my shot. The other person skating down may not get that shot, but go to the net. Don't go behind the net. Don't go to your spot yet. You go to the net, stop, looking for a rebound. Now I call it garbage goals, but it's where you're going to pick up the rebound, be able to, if the goalie doesn't pick up the puck, if he doesn't cover the puck, you're right there, you can shoot it in as long as the puck's not covered. And we just have to be careful not to, hack at the goalie, because you can't get a penalty for that, or get a warning for your team on that. But go to the net. Whether you're taking the shot or not, go to the net. Rather go behind the net, you're not going to score from behind the net. Do 2-on-1s where you've done that before. So you'll have forwards there, forwards here, and then defensemen, and again, you're rotating each one. This is the best way to rotate. You go right from forward, and then once you're done, you go to the defense, and once you're done, you go to the other forward. So best way to rotate, just from that, making sure so you get a couple forwards and one defense. Here's what happens. Pucks are on one side, and let's let's go pucks to the bleachers side. Coming out, skating with the puck. This person comes out. It's going to be a 2-on-1. The defenseman is skating out, kind of follows that puck, comes back, and right about here is a transition from forward to backwards. And if you see any of the lineup things, they've got like little zigzags, meaning you're going backwards. Don't know why. So then you will crisscross. Best way crisscross is the one with the puck. Actually, it's either way. Drops the puck, stays forward. The other one picks up the puck. If you drop the puck in front of you, the defense might have a chance to poke it away. All right, and then you're 2-on-1. And make sure, again, as you're coming in, you make as many passes as you want. Somebody head to the net. The other person could be up high, could be anywhere. But the person without the puck, stay at the net. Defenseman, your job is to help your goalie. You want to go towards the person without the puck. So if this person has the puck, you kind of lean towards the person without the puck so you can prevent that pass. I got burned on it the other day. Brenton just crushed me on it. I wasn't blocking the pass. And if you don't block that pass, sneaking back door shot, your goalie's going to have to slide over. Here, your goalie takes the shooter. You've got the second person. So that's really, you always shy towards that or play that person. Let the goalie take the shooter. You take the other one so they can't get that pass across. The coach will sit for this other side around the red line with the pucks. You'll set up just like a face-off. 2 defensemen, 2 forwards. Shoot the puck in. The puck is here. We need to go in as a setup for the breakout. So 1 defenseman on the puck, 1 defenseman in front of the net looking for somebody to pick up. The forwards for the breakout would be down low. We were having a little trouble with this in our game, so it is down low that we're going to do it. Other forwards up here to cover their defenseman as a pretend defenseman, and the other forward will be there, might be the center, depending if we call it center. Might as well do it straight up just from where you've lined up. So wing down low, center there covering an extra guy if he comes in, or is an option, and then forward on the other side. Defenseman, you have your options where to pass. Pass to this guy, most likely you'll pass to this one. Never pass across the net. That's too dangerous because the other players are going to be there. Once you get going, skate up. This forward will skate up. Have some options. I tried to do this in the other practice. It didn't work. You shoot it off the glass. If you get it up in the air, shoot it off the glass. This guy can come across, or this guy can come across to beat the defenseman, or you can make the pass as they're coming across, coming back. Once you've come out, your forwards will come across the blue line. You need to, and whoever has the puck, you're going to switch and head back in. The defensemen who are down below will come up to about here, and they become the defensemen for the other side. So it becomes these 3 are going to be against these 2. So you've all been on the same team. Once you get outside of the blue line, you'll do some crisscrosses, come back, and the defense now are on the defensive team. So they're against you. So they're with you, and now they're against you. And whoever has the puck at that time, you might skate across. You can pass, you can come back in. My recommendation is to go long, and then even if you come back here, you're going to fill. And at this point, you'll have somebody at the net, or somebody with the puck. The other person crashes the net, and then another person will sit up high. So you have your triangle set up. Then you make your plays, the defenseman trying to protect or trying to stop that play. And then after that, you're off, go to the side, and then the next group lines up, depending on how many people we have. And the next drill is 3-on-2 down low. We'll line up. This will be the white team lined up, just kind of like how we started. The white team lines up just in a single file line that way, facing this. So you're going to protect the puck from going out, and the dark team will be across here. You'll protect the puck from going out, and we'll just flip-flop as to who goes. White might go first. They get the 3, and the 3 are going to try to score. and 2 will defend with the goalie. So I'll throw a puck in, nobody behind the net. You can use all the space except for where our players are. So really, we're in a tighter area, but we're trying to fight for, trying to score. You do have an advantage, obviously, as a forward. The forwards have an advantage on this one because they can have an extra person that's not going to be covered. Defense on this one, don't play man-to-man. Play more of a zone. So one defenseman would sit in front, sort of looking for a person to pick up, and then there's a defenseman would be on the puck, and then they're going to have another person. So that other person, oftentimes, if you're going to pick up, it might be the goalie's person to cover. So as a goalie, they can be able to get a shot, though we want to try not to have them get a shot. It's going to be kind of tricky. As forwards, you're going to want to try to set up a triangle. You can work behind the net. You can pass to each other that way. If you skate behind the net, everybody's kind of moving. But make sure that you're open. You can do some movement around the outsides if you want to try to confuse the defenseman, but making all the passes tight. Defenseman, you get the puck, shoot it down. Try not to shoot it from those people. Then the last thing we'll do is a full ice 5-on-5. If we have extra time, I would like to do, we have the one-on-ones where the defensemen sit in the middle and then they'll pass the puck and then coming down, because I always think that's really important too in the games and things that we can always work on. And this is another one of my teaching spots that I do. I teach 6th grade, so that's why it looks like that. Anyway, you guys have been doing so great for the practices and improving so much. Keaton, the goalie from before from my team, I had said that most of you have never played hockey before, like organized hockey before from that. And I said that, and then I came back, and he's like, there's no way these guys haven't played before. I'm like, no. Most of them really just hadn't played organized hockey, and they've improved that much. So let's keep it up. And if you probably could guess, I have a lot of extra time on my hands since our team's not practicing. So that's why I made this video, to help us out with that. So don't expect it every time, but we'll see. All right, see you guys on the ice.